Hi everyone, I'm Yash Sangvi, CA 25 from the May 2025 attempt, and this is the second video where I help you navigate through your preparatory leave phase. We'll keep it in the same format of three buckets. Number one, the mindset, second, your social life, and third, of course, academics. So let's get started. Number one, mindset. Now, what I want you to do here is to change the way how you look at time. Don't look at time as contiguous blocks of 24 hours. Look at them in percentages. Don't look at time as an absolute that today I studied 10 hours. Look at them as a percentage of the total time that was available for you to study. And I'll tell you why this is important. Because in a 3 to 6 month period of your preparatory leave, not every day is going to be the same. So let's say it's a good day and there's nothing else for you to focus on except your academics. In that case, of the 24-hour day that you will have roughly 16 hours where you can study with all focus. Now, of that 16 hours, let's say you study for 10 hours. So now look at it in percentage terms. In percentage terms, you have studied 10 of the 16 hours. You have to evaluate that probably you could have done better, maybe studied for 12 or 13 of that 16 hours. This percentage will help you determine whether you have done justice to that day. But let's say it's a bad day. There are certain things which are occupying your time and your mind space other than your academics, which could be things like maybe you are ill and you need to recover, or God forbid somebody in your family is ill and you have to, take care of them, or there is any other emergency that may arise in that 3 to 6 month period. In that case, do not look at it that I studied 3 or 4 hours of the 16 hours day. No, of that 16 hours, if let's say 10 hours of your time was devoted to some emergency, some exigency, then all you had left to study, so time available for studying was only 6 hours. Of that, if you let's say study for 5 hours, you would have studied for 5 by 6 of the total duration. Now, in absolute terms, 5 hours is half of the 10 hours, but your ratio, I think, is way better in the second one. That is how you need to look at it. This will help you to evaluate each day and push in cases where you have studied for just 10 of the 16 hours. And in other cases, it will help you rationalize that no, I had so many hours available, and of that I have utilized X hours, which I think is a great outcome. That is one thing which could change the perspective about time and help you evaluate every day on a case to case basis and not as a blanket scenario. Second, your social life. I call it one is enough. During this 3 to 6 month period, have only one person whom you speak to on a daily basis or even multiple times in a day. Preferably, this person should be someone who is a chartered accountant and someone who knows you quite well. Your discussion with this person should be about the targets that you are setting, the follow-up on those targets about what you have done throughout the day, evaluation at the end of the day of whether I could have utilized the day better, and then again planning for the next day. The other person's responsibility here would be to see from an objective point of view whether you are on the right track, whether there is any deviation that he or she is seeing in your performance, and what are the areas that you can improve upon. The second thing that this will help, it will help you to regulate your emotions. The 3 to 6 month period is a very turbulent time. There are days where you don't feel like studying, don't feel like getting up, and then there are days that will be really good, you will be very productive, etc. The other person will help you to stabilize your emotions. He or she will help you and tell you that it's okay, you had a bad day, chill. There are 150 days, let's say if it's a 5 month period, you had just one off day. Come back stronger tomorrow and maybe you can cover up whatever you could not today. That is a very important perspective to have, because otherwise you can get into this very dark loop of, oh, I missed one session, oh, I missed one day, and that could affect every future day that you have, which is not an ideal case, of course. So just one friend who probably has given this exam and who can tell you whether you are on the right track or whether there is any change that you need to make in your daily life. And now coming to academics. From the academic point of view, I have just one request. Do not make any radical changes to your study pattern which you have never adopted in your life previously. So I'll give you one very serious example. One of my friends who wrote his exam in January 2025, for all his life, his way of learning was through writing things. So it was more about muscle memory through which he, used to recall things. Now, during the preparatory leave period, he changed one thing. He stopped writing altogether. He just tried to remember things mentally, trying to recall them, say it out loud, etc. So while he was putting in the efforts, putting in the hours, whenever he used to write the mock, his results were abysmal. They did not absolutely justify the hours that he had put in. And I was talking to him one day, and he told me that this is all is what is happening. And I asked him that तूने कुछ चेंज करा है क्या? Has there been any fundamental shift in the way you maybe approach a subject, approach your entire study routine, etc.? And he told me this कि यार मैं ना पहले I used to write a lot, but now because of the time constraint, etc., I have stopped writing altogether and I do it all mentally. And I told him कि this is the problem in front of you, because your body is adapted to a way of learning which you have followed for the past 20-25 years. Suddenly one morning you cannot tell your mind and body that now we will not follow this approach altogether, it is a wrong approach, and we'll work on a new approach, especially not when your exam is just in a 3 to 6 month span. So he took my feedback and he changed it, but the time constraint was still real. So what he did, he wrote in very short words. He wrote in like 3 words for a paragraph, just very basic things to have his hand-eye coordination in place, to have his brain-hand coordination in place, and that changed his results drastically. The next time when he wrote the mocks, he had absolutely stellar results. And this is what I want to tell you. Your results, your scores won't come from very radical and fundamental changes that you make. They'll come from very small, minute changes that you will make in your life. So do not take any step which is absolutely different from the things that you have been doing up until now. Build on what your strength has always been and focus on how you can do that thing better. So if your study pattern is to memorize things mentally by learning it and recalling it, focus on that only. Focus on that and think of how you can build on that and improve that. Do not change a method just because you read that this is the best method to do it, or because your friend said that, oh, this is how I did it. No, don't do that. You need to be comfortable in your skin, in what you're doing. That will help you achieve your best results. This is what I had for today. I'll come back with another video where I talk about one subtopic each in each of the above buckets. Let me know if you liked it. Thank you.